Look, they blew up the towers in front of everybody. You have the firemen, the police talking about the bombs, the molten steel. You've got it all right there, and I didn't even get to all the clips. I'm going to have Paul Watson today basically take this Jesse Ventura calls for new 9/11 investigation, or Jesse Ventura calls for investigation in light of explosive evidence, and get that out to everyone. Because people are like, well, we already know all this. No, your friends, your family, your neighbors don't. They've heard 9/11's an inside job. They know about the lies about WMDs or Northwoods or Gulf of Tonkin. But then they kind of have the attitude of, well, it's up to me to decide if it's an inside job or not. You know, I make the decision it's not because it's too scary. None of us have any future if you don't face the elephant in the room. And I just played you the FBI director of New York with the mayor walking along beside him, coming over to firefighters, and he's going, yeah, I saw the bottom of the building blow out. I just played you the firefighters talking about bombs. I just went over, and this is what NIST tried to block. This is what NIST all these years hasn't wanted released. I mean, don't you see how incredible that is? So we're searching the term. Search it right now and search it after the show. 9/11 cover-up. 9/111 cover-up. I just added a 1 there. And we'll put that up on screen for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. We're going to keep streaming with free video streams up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com to the end of the hour. Special 9/111 cover-up simulcast with Jesse Ventura. He just left us. He did an hour and 17 minutes with us exclusively live here today. But let's search the term 9/11 cover-up. And let's also search Conway cover-up, Jack Conway. And I've got to run out during the break and get my articles that I gave Nemo. He's writing about it. Watson's writing about it. It left Conway cover-up in the headline. Right as Conway cover-up goes live as the #1 search term, if you make it the #1 search term, it'll force mainstream media to look at Jack Conway involved, the evidence shows, in a criminal cover-up of a narcotics investigation of his prosecutor brother. And he's the Attorney General of Kentucky. You realize how big this is? Hidden in plain view, in front of everybody. Well, you asked Aaron and Kurt Nemo. They took my Daily Poll, my Infowars. Pardon me? They're already back in there? Okay, we'll find them. Oh, yeah, here they are right in front of me. Well, I don't have the Daily Poll and the full one. I need that, too. We'll be right back with this. We got big articles coming out on this subject. I'm going to get into some other economic news
in constant sorrow
and military news before this hour ends. But I want people to really listen to me very, very, very carefully right now. I'm not mincing words about this. Rand Paul could lose in Kentucky, and that will send a message against hardcore patriot candidates nationwide and will serve as a blueprint to encourage the dirtiest, nastiest tricks we have ever seen in modern politics in this country. So I want to reach out to everyone to understand. They lied and said he wanted to get rid of the Civil Rights Act. We know that wasn't true. That he kidnapped a woman, made her do drugs, wasn't true. That he wasn't a medical doctor, wasn't true. That he had racists at his events. Turned out they worked with Conway and the Democrats. They've been caught. But Conway is throwing everything he can in the next 5.5 days, coming up on Super Tuesday. He is throwing everything he has got right now against Rand Paul. It's a national story about some woman with a wig rushing towards Rand Paul, so they kind of tackle her and the guy puts his foot on her. Meanwhile, they don't show on the national news, though it's on YouTube, that same event, Rand Paul supporters being beat up. This stuff happens. Meanwhile, this actually came out on the 23rd. So this actually came out on Saturday. I didn't learn about it until the 26th, yesterday, when I went to PrisonPlanet.com and saw the link to the Daily Poll article. Then I went and read the article they linked to, Courier Journal. Then I found a couple other newspaper articles, and I searched last night, nothing else. Maybe one TV station mentioned it. Listen to me. This is a huge cover-up of real corruption. They have been caught red-handed. We can confidently say that Jack Conway and his brother have committed a crime, multiple crimes. We don't know if they're really involved in narcotics trafficking, his brother. We don't know if he had drugs at his house. What we know is there was going to be a drug raid on his house. Detectives in the same county where Jack Conway's brother is the deputy prosecutor. He's also a lawyer. His brother is the attorney general running against Rand Paul. We know Jack Conway, and this is all admitted in police reports, okay? This is admitted in police reports. It's a 5-page, lengthy article in the Courier-Journal. The headline says, LMPD probes detectives who tipped off prosecutors under investigation. And it doesn't tell you till deep in the article that this Matthew C. Conway is the brother of the Attorney General of Kentucky. And they admit the detectives met with the Attorney General. They told him. They met with others. They went and met with his brother. They went and met with Attorney Matt Conway, his brother, the prosecutor. And they told him, you better get yourself clean. These are quotes, and whatever's going on, you better get ready for a raid in 2 days. And they blocked the raid to give him time to do whatever he did. Now, we don't know, and it says it was for narcotics trafficking and use. We don't know if it was cocaine, heroin. We don't know. We don't know if he's guilty. You're innocent until proven guilty. But they are in here, in this article, all of them making admissions of guilt. This is enough for a grand jury to indict the Attorney General, and I'm calling for that, and his prosecutor brother. They are all in here admitting they met secretly with detectives, and the detectives warned him and blocked the service of the search warrant and the raid for 2 days. And then when this first came out, because they overheard the detectives a couple weeks ago, this happened weeks ago, talking about the case at a restaurant. That's how other police got tipped off about it. And then when the police went and talked to him, they lied. The other detectives admit, they apologize. They say, I lied because I like Matt Conway, and I don't think it's true. They warned him, and then they lied and said, we didn't warn him, we didn't meet with him. They lied to the investigating detectives. The detectives did. Conway is in here lying, saying he wasn't warned. Matt Conway. His brother is on record meeting with these people. They have absolutely obstructed justice. They have tried to escape the law. That's called absconding in a criminal investigation. They have lied. They are guilty. Jack Conway, his brother Matt Conway, are guilty of trying to frustrate a criminal investigation, and they're all a bunch of top prosecutors. They're a bunch of cops. Now, that's who Jack Conway is. Do I think there were narcotics in that house? What's a bear do in the woods? Now, about 2 hours ago, I sprung this on Kurt Nimmo and Paul Watson. They're not going to have these articles done till probably 30 minutes to an hour after the show ends. But you need to mark your calendar, that sticky note in front of you right now, that when these articles about the Conway cover-up go live at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, that you need to get it and email it to every outlet in Kentucky, every radio station, every church, any public addresses, fire departments. It doesn't matter, because it comes out in 2 newspapers from the police files, red-handed, the Attorney General, his prosecutor brother, and 3 police detectives, 2 of them admitting they lied when they said they hadn't warned Conway about the narcotics trafficking and use investigation. Now, whether that narcotics investigation would have ever turned up drugs, his brother did resign. It now turns out, this happened months ago. And this has been quietly covered up. Okay? His brother left as a prosecutor. He's gone. The cops are quoted as saying, I guess my career is over. Well, yeah, there should be a criminal investigation of this. And there is a criminal investigation. But the election is now. Rand Paul has to take all these lies from this slimeball Jack Conway and put up with all this. So I'm telling you, let's make it the #1 search term, or #2. Conway cover-up. Conway is C-O-N, W-A-Y. Conway cover-up or cover-up. Conway cover-up. There's another search term, 9/11, 9/11 cover-up. So 9/11 cover-up, 9/11 cover-up, and Conway cover-up. We can expose this globalist con who's conned people saying Rand Paul's out there grabbing women and isn't the doctor and all this other baloney. I mean, we need to expose Jack Conway. And even if he gets into office, you know, that isn't the issue. He needs to be prosecuted. You've got this slimy attorney general in there with the police in meetings, warning his brother. The raid gets blocked for 2 days. Oh, yeah, it was the head narcotics detective that was tasked to go do the raid that called him and met with him and said, get yourself ready, we're coming in 2 days. I mean, what would happen if your cousin was a police detective, the head of narcotics, and he called you up and said, there's a warrant to search your house, get ready. We're coming in 2 days. This is incredible corruption, and they're all in the newspaper admitting it, and you don't see this on CNN. You don't see this on Fox. Fox is the one place that might run with it. Hit them with emails. And the problem is this is a detailed article by R.G. Dunlop. Did R.G. Dunlop ever call us back? Did R.G. Dunlop ever call us back? He never called us back. We've put calls. I'm going to call him when I get off air. We put calls into him to get him on. He went to the police reports, the open records on this, and it's got the cops admitting they knew the raid was coming. They went and warned him, and they had meetings with his brother, the attorney general, about it. You understand? Red-handed, obstruction of justice, absconding a criminal investigation. In fact, I wasn't going to take phone calls, and I haven't had time to pull up Kentucky law, but I know it's the same everywhere in the country. Can any Kentucky police officers or prosecutors, in fact, we ought to search, I mean, what are the other charges? I know there's a bunch of others. I mean, I know those are correct crimes and charges I'm talking about, but there's others as well. Official corruption. I mean, what's it called when people in government are protecting themselves and giving each other forewarning? It's a conspiracy to obstruct justice? There you go. Sounds like racketeering to me. You got a whole bunch of people involved. I mean, how many other terms can we throw out here? I'm going to open the phones up specifically. We only got about 15 minutes left here or less. No, actually 20, excuse me. I'm going to open the phones up specifically for lawyers or police officers. I'd like it to be from Kentucky, or pull up your criminal code. 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231. People are like, well, I don't live in Kentucky. Why do I care if Rand Paul wins? If they get away with lying about him and smearing him, it's going to be the playbook for all other patriot candidates trying to take this country back. You got election fraud in every other close election in Arizona and Nevada and New York and Illinois. The American people are angry. They're taking action, and the system's using dirty tricks. And Conway has been narrowing his lead against Rand Paul. And here's the $64 million question and answer. If we are able to force this Jack Conway cover-up story out into mainstream news, because we don't know if there were narcotics in his brother's house, the prosecutor. We don't know if all this is true because he got warned, because the police couldn't raid his house, and he's a prosecutor. It makes it even more imperative. We know about corruption in high places. And here's the $64 million answer. If you can force this out in the next 2-3 days, and that's why they hate this radio show, because our audience can do it. If you can call Fox News, Fox Radio, they're one of the more apt groups to do it, but I did a search and haven't seen them covered it. If you can get this out, this is real corruption. We don't know about the drugs, but we know they covered it up. And we know they did things that are illegal. This is big. This could get Rand Paul in there, okay? Because anytime you investigate these globalists, there's always corruption. I mean, they're just so corrupt. I mean, who else would vote for Obamacare and banker bailouts but corrupt politicians? So this is so hardcore important that you make Conway cover up the #1 search term.